everybody, this is Steve. It is August 5th, it's in the morning, and I'm taking a look at the Schumann resonance. This is something that we've been talking about and just learning about, coincidentally, in the last couple of days as we've been kind of following the trail. But I was getting concerned about little spikes in the Schumann resonance through the week, like saying, oh, if you're feeling bad, maybe it's because of the Schumann resonance or whatever. We know that Schumann resonances have an effect on people's emotional health and also have an effect on people's heart. And things like that. Well, check out what happened on the 8th, and that's happening again today. We're all the way up into 40 hertz. It's unprecedented. And there was a video done by MBB333 earlier that brought my attention to this, but I'm looking at this and saying this is very interesting. Something to keep our eyes on for sure.
Let's get into a couple other things. The Earth, of course, the north, magnetic north, is moving around really fast again today. This is from the Swiss or Swedish monitoring station. And it shows us that there is a lot of activity today. But again, that Schumann resonance thing, man, wow. A lot of people, including my girlfriend, think that this is some type of a lens anomaly, dust, water on the lens rotating across the sky. But today, as I was looking at this, here's Misty Ford, or I'm sorry, here's Misty Ford's. And then what I do, all I have to do is go, like that's that camera, and then I just go over to Craig, and lo and behold, the same thing shows up again. So it's two separate cameras, but with the Craig camera, we're getting this huge secondary orb, and we have been seeing it for the last couple of days. Again, it's just another update. Primarily, it's the southwest that we're seeing this in Alaska, so if you guys can find other cams, that'd be great. Here it is in another camera, guys. This is the third camera I've gotten it from today. This is usually I can see it one or two cameras, but very rarely do I see it in 3 or 4 cameras. Let's see if we can find another one. And then here it again, another camera, you know, and we're seeing it all over the place. Now, do I believe that that is a direct view of an object? No. What I believe, it's a very special kind of refraction that happens because of the lighting system that they use and allows us to see up there what we're talking about. Let me give you an example. So back in March, if you guys remember, let's get this right. Back in March, we actually caught what I thought was probably one of the best photographs that we've ever caught at WSO. And this picture was a single frame that basically revealed that there's something shining from the left, refracting off the camera and showing us that same orb. And this is from Hawaii, okay? Similarly, we saw in the all sky cams, we saw the orbs as well, okay? But much bigger and much weirder and stranger, right? But then you go to these pictures today, okay? And what happens is this thing goes into a place where you can actually see the second orb when you look at Craig, and Craig is the best place to look at. But here, check it out. According to the cameras, now look at this. Look at the color. Look at the color on that orb. Explain to me how I get color like that on a lens flare, guys. It's just not your normal lens flare. It's not your normal thing. I can't say for sure if it's a direct view, but I do believe it's a refraction. But we're getting it from every Southwest cam in Alaska. You can do the same thing. And then we've got a corroborating photo here where we see that big orb, little orb in all sky cams in Brazil. And then we got a big orb, little orb, and again, you know, this has actually got color to it, guys. It's got an orange color to it. Looks like a big bowling ball. These big 3 holes have been showing up for 3 days in a row. So yeah, this is pretty interesting stuff, guys. Pretty interesting indeed. Chart with temperature anomalies over the last 100 years. And as you can see, it's a very illustrative understanding of how much temperatures have increased over the last several decades. And it gives you a good idea. These are in Celsius, by the way. Watch what happens when it gets to 2015. Look at how it just slowly grows out to 2016. Just another sign of something coming closer. Either that or global warming. Hey everybody, Steve Olson, WSO. This is weird. This is really freaking weird, man. This is a magnetic
basically looks at the magnetics of the Earth flowing over the Earth, magnetic field lines, polar cap lines, closed field lines. It's all about electricity stuff, okay? One thing I know for sure is that IMF lines, which are basically our connection to the sun, shouldn't be out in the middle of space spinning around like it's around some kind of a planet or something like that. So this is a very unusual reading, guys, if you're not familiar with this instrument. Furthermore, if you go down on the flow line where it shows the flow, you've got arrows going in all different directions in a big lump right over here. And then, of course, this reverse pressure has been intense on the Earth lately, and we just saw that 5.1 earthquake, or whatever it was, in California. I was waiting for a 5 to pop in California because there are 5s popping all around the Ring of Fire already. Let me show you that real quick. If you look at all magnitudes U.S., you can see that there's just been a swarm of earthquakes in California, and finally we saw one pop off in that 5 range there. Oh, 5.7. Wow, when it starts to get up into 6 and 7, you know that's an exponential increase in force. So anyway, you can see that the Ring of Fire has been basically, if we look at the last 7 days, you can really see it. The Ring of Fire has just been seeing these, 6s and 5s all the way around. And like I said, it was only a matter of time, in my opinion, until we were going to see a 5 in California, and yes, indeed, we did. Let's take a look at some photographs from today real quick. So I pushed this thing out earlier today where we talked about the Brazil thing. Now it's kind of catching fire on the internet. But again, guys, I have to remind you, there's one other thing that could be causing this. And I mentioned two, and I want to mention one more before I forget. And that is, if there's some type of a difference in the rotational speed or vector of the Earth, like if the Earth rotated in a different direction or slower or faster. So I wanted to put that one out there as a theory because it's as legitimate as any other one, I guess. So anyway, here we go to Alaska, Shikot, east. Check it. This thing comes dropping from the sky behind the clouds, right? It's not smoke signals or anything. And then all of a sudden it pops back up in there and just stays in one spot. Now, I'm not going to call that a planet or even an orb, but it is just freaking weird. Watch this again. It comes down, boing, boing, boing. I think this more of as a UFO type sighting than a planetary object sighting to me. Because look at how it just comes down from nowhere, boing, 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 and then just hangs in the sky like it's looking at us. Hopefully it's not the Anunnaki. Anyway, here we go. This is another view. This is a different, whole different thing. Basically, this is the whole Virgo constellation, and I saw this on the internet today, so I just borrowed it. But basically, it shows the black. Remember how they always talk about the blacked out area? And if you're not familiar with it, just go YouTube search it or Google search blacked out area on Google Sky. And basically, that blacked out area, which is also the location of this infrared image of something that looks like a dragon. Okay, that's what a lot of people think. This is what Meade thinks is the actual troublemaker and getting close to us or near us or in us or wherever it is in the solar system. And this is also the blacked out patch of the sky, which suggests, again, it just creates more suspicion in the minds of the kind of the Nibiru community, because it's right in line with this whole Virgo sign that's going to happen tomorrow. Okay, so supposedly this dragon's supposed to eat or try to chase or destroy whatever comes out of Virgo's womb, which is Jupiter. We'll see. That's where a lot of people are thinking that Jupiter might get whacked. We'll see. But anyway, the video I did the other day, several videos ago, I think that we maybe made a mistake and saw some kind of a light on the horizon there, but the whole thing stands that we're seeing some weird stuff, and I think that we're all doing our best to do the best we can to put out the best information. You know what I mean? More of the east light. But here is some stuff from San Diego, California. And this person was saying that they could see this with their naked eye. And it's interesting. Green, red. Now, somebody asked me the other day, they said, Steve, say 1 minute the thing is far away, close, whatever. Honest truth, I don't know where exactly it is. But my theory on being able to see these various planet apparitions in the 7 planets of the system that we think are in the system anyway, is the fact that there's this concave and convex effect with light bending, And the atmosphere of the Earth actually, if you've ever seen the full moon come up on a horizon, it's really huge when it's far away on the horizon because there's a lot of atmosphere to actually magnify the moon. Similarly, I think we get the same effect with these objects in the system. That's just my theory. And then here's some more photography, but this time they actually caught this larger manifestation orb again. Just like I say, like the moon is really not that big when it's right over your head, but when it's on the horizon, it looks huge. And finally, I just wanted to share this one. This is from France. Again, these are just people taking pictures with their fisheye lenses and getting, amazing column flares if you want to. In this case, what I think this is I think it's part of the pre-position, shields, different things up that they have up in the atmosphere. I know, right? I mean, whacked out guys. I know tinfoil hat land. But I really do believe that what we caught here in this picture in France is a piece of that technology that's meant to kind of keep us from seeing the system. Well, with that said, guys, time to call it a day. Tomorrow's the big day of the sign. We'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it for you. We'll watch it day to day. Don't worry, man. The world's not going to end tomorrow. Trust me. If you're scared and worried about the world ending tomorrow, please go to bed tonight knowing that it's not going to. Good night.